Hello, good afternoon. This is David Sutter talking to you, and today is my weekly trade predictions for the upcoming trading week of January 6th through January 10th, 2020. Okay, and with this week is going to be non-farm payroll, so I just want to get it out there at the beginning and let you know that this week there will be a lot more activity in the forex market as compared to last 2 weeks, the last 2 previous weeks, because of the Christmas and New Year season. Okay, now we've moved away from the Christmas and New Year season. Now we're going to start seeing a lot more activity and a lot more volatility in the market. Okay, so we will see things pick up, and you can expect to make a lot more profit. And at the same time, you need to watch all the different time frames and try to judge the best entry points using my Excalibur Trend indicator, right? So with my weekly trade predictions, I'm going to look at all the major currency pairs and look at a 30-minute chart, which I base everything on initially. So this way we can see what has happened this past week, and then compare to higher time frames like the 4-hour daily, even weekly time frame, and try to give you my best analysis of what I think is going to happen this coming week. Okay, so to begin with my analysis here, my trade predictions, we see that the Euro USD, Australian US dollar, Pound USD all dropped off this past week. Okay, they started to gain some and then dropped off. They all follow a similar pattern in the market, while the US dollar, on the other hand, has tried to make a rebound and try to go back up. But like here we see US dollar, Swiss franc went back up, but US dollar, Japanese yen, and Canadian dollar didn't do so well. Okay, so some of the USD pairs did go up, but while other pairs did not. So the US dollar is trying to make a comeback, but it's just not strong enough. Okay, and now we see like Euro USD, Australian dollar USD, Pound USD, other ones like that are dropping off. Okay, so what this means is like everything is weakened. Okay, and that was mainly due to the holiday season. Okay, so now we're going to start seeing a lot of things pick up. Between the different currency pairs, I think the US dollar is definitely going to make a rebound this coming month, but we will see. Now, if you look at here, Euro USD on a 4-hour chart, okay, I want to show you, this has dropped off, right? Because we have a strong level of resistance that's dropped. It started to come back up. It looks like it's going to continue to drop. Okay, if we look on the daily, it has a strong signal to sell. So yes, this will be dropping this coming week. But if you look on the weekly, even monthly chart, it has a strong signal to buy. So we're in an uptrend, at least according to the monthly, right? And if we draw a trend line, I know I showed this before, but if you draw a trend line like this coming up, you have a strong level of support right here. So what we're looking for is the price to drop and hit this trend line. Okay, so if you look on the daily chart, you see right here, this is your trend line. Okay, and this is your support line right here. You understand? So what's going to happen is the price is going to drop. It's going to run zigzag, hit somewhere in here. What I'm guessing is it's going to hit this level of support, and it's going to bounce right about here. If not, it will hit this support and cross right about here. All right, hit this level, hit this trend line. And so that's probably what's going to happen. Okay, we're going to hit this trend line, it's going to bounce back up. So this week I would look to sell the Euro USD. Okay, this week it will definitely be going down. Now when we get to Friday, you might see a rebound. Okay, I don't know, but this week I would look to sell. Going into next week, I would look to buy. Okay, that is my predictions for this week with the Euro USD. Moving on to the Australian dollar, US dollar, we look here, we kind of see the same fashion. Okay, it says dropped off this past week. It looks like it hit a strong level of support, but if we look at the 4-hour chart, we show that okay, it has bounced back up some, but we're still in a downtrend. And if we look at the daily, we're still in a downtrend as well. Okay, but if we look at the weekly, it's showing it wants to go up. So if we draw a trend line like this, okay, I'm just following the exact same thing I did a minute ago, come back to like the 1 hour chart, or I could do that, or even 4 hour chart, we see that yes, here's your level of support. So we can expect the price to drop down to this level of support here on this trend line. Okay, now exactly where, we don't know. There's a level of support right here, and it could potentially cross right here. All right, there is a level of resistance right here that is now a support. Okay, but I don't think it's going to cross right there. So bring this down, back down to here. This will probably make the most sense right here. Okay, so it's going to go zig up, down, up, down, up, down, and eventually hit probably right about here. That's probably, this is like what I call X marks the spot. Okay, so what I think is the price is going to, you're going to see that pattern dropping like that. It's going to go up, down, and then it's going to hit that trend line and bounce back up. Okay, so that is my prediction. So this week I would look to sell the Australian dollar, US dollar. Okay, going into next week I would look to buy. Moving on the pound USD, again we see a kind of a similar structure, right? And if we look at the 4 hour, we have a strong signal to sell on the buy, but it has dropped off. Okay, and if we look at the daily, it has a strong signal to sell. So technically we're still in a downtrend. Okay, now if we look at the weekly, we have a signal to buy, right? Now if we come over here and draw a trend line, look at this. Here is your support, and if we drop back down to the daily, we see that the price is wanting to drop down and touch that trend line again. So now the only difference here with this one is that it's very close to that trend line already. So we can expect probably the next few days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, for this to drop. Probably, no, don't quote me on this, but probably around Wednesday going into Thursday, we should see this rebound and come back up. Okay, so look at the beginning of the week, I would definitely look to sell, but going into the middle of the week, Wednesday or Thursday, I would look to buy. Okay, I don't think it's going to be going down the whole week. So half the week sell, and the other half of the week you want to buy. Very, very simple. Okay, but watch these trend lines. Okay, follow what I did here, draw a trend line, and you'll be good. Okay, wait for it to hit that trend line and then buy. If you go here to next one, US dollar, Swiss franc, we see that the price has been fighting to come back up, like I told you, but for what it's worth, has hit a pretty strong level of resistance. Now, if we look at the 4 hour chart here, we see the price has been going up, and then it kind of like plateaued, right? If you look at the daily, it shows that it has a strong uptrend, right? And if we look at the weekly, we show a downtrend forming, and so does the monthly. So long term, this will be dropping. Okay, so what I think is going to happen, and like I said, the US dollar is wanting to fight back. What I think is going to happen is that this week we will see, and of course it's non-farm payroll, so anything can happen, but at the beginning of the week when we're going to see this rebound and come back up, and then going around Wednesday we should see this drop back off again. Okay, so if we look here on the 4 hour chart, let me zoom out a bit. We have a downtrend right here. Okay, so what I think is the price is going to hit this resistance and drop down again. Okay, that is my guess. Now, if it breaks, if this trend line breaks, then what could happen is it will go into a long uptrend. Okay, so I would not count this as a solid uptrend right now. Look for this trend line right here, this resistance, this upper trend line to break, and then once that breaks, then you can look to really buy. Okay, so like I said, in the beginning of the week you can definitely buy, you're not going to gain a lot of profit, a lot of pips in the beginning, but around the middle of the week, we should see this drop back off again, okay? Because the dollar has weakened and has been kind of in a downtrend for the last couple of weeks. So what I think is going to happen, and it's all speculation, but I think the dollar is going to weaken more, but maybe later this month we'll see it rebound and come back up. Now, of course, this is non-farm payroll, so based on what non-farm payroll says with the employment data, you know, we should see either a spike up or a spike down. We don't know. So the safest thing is to wait until after non-farm payroll to see what the data report says and see if the dollar is going to be going up. But irregardless, if this breaks this trend line, it will keep going up. Okay, but if it bounces off, it's going to drop. Pretty simple, right? So look for the price to hit this trend line. Look for the break or look for the drop. And like I said, Monday going to Tuesday, you can definitely buy. But by Wednesday, we should see either a drop or we will see it break one way or another. So just keep an eye out for this US dollar, Swiss franc, USD, CHF. Okay, moving on to the US dollar, Japanese yen, we saw that the price had dropped off, and this just means that the Japanese yen was evidently stronger and has strengthened, right? So both pairs are fighting to come back. We know this. So obviously here the Japanese yen was stronger because the US dollar Japanese yen dropped off, and it appears they have hit a pretty strong level of support and should be going back up. If we look here on the 4-hour chart, okay, we look at the 4-hour chart, we see we have an up arrow, right? Just now forming, and it's just now starting to go up. So that's kind of a good sign that you could potentially have a long-term buy. But if you look at the daily, it shows the one to go down, and the weekly shows to go up, and the monthly shows to go down. So we've had some mixed signals for the last couple of weeks, and the thing I find interesting is that the price that come down hit a pretty strong level of support and started bouncing back up. So what I think is going to happen is we're going to see the price shoot back up a ways and then come down even more this week. So in the beginning of the week, look to buy, and then towards the end, going into Wednesday or Thursday, I will definitely look to sell this US dollar Japanese yen. The thing about this is it's been in a pretty tight range of market for quite a while. All right, and this week has dropped off a lot, but you know it's gonna have its ups and downs. So right now we're looking for the price to go up, and then we should be looking for the price to come back down. So about the middle of the week, the price should shoot back down. So look to buy this in the beginning of the week. Watch for the price to go up, and then towards the end of the week, look for this to drop and come back down. Okay, so it's a little bit tricky. If you want, stay away from US dollar Japanese yen. I'll leave it up to you, but really, you can definitely make some money with this. This is a pretty good pair to trade. You just have to know exactly when to get in. You can draw a trend line. Watch this. You can draw a trend line coming down like this, right? If I have a trend line here, so if this breaks, then yes, that's going to be a good time to buy. Look in the 4-hour chart. We have a resistance here. So to be 100% safe, I would wait for this to break. Now, it's kind of iffy. Like I said, this will probably go up, touch this trend line, and shoot back down again. That is what I'm projecting. All right. So, like I said, in the beginning of this week, buy, and then probably around Wednesday, I would look to sell. I don't think this is going to break. It could, and if it does, then you can continue to buy. Okay, but definitely in the beginning of the week, look to buy, and then around Wednesday, you know, look to either sell or look to continue to buy. I don't know, but just watch this trend line. Okay, US dollar, Canadian dollar. As you can see, the price had dropped off some and then formed a flat range market. Okay, so both pairs are like in an equilibrium where the bulls and bears are fighting right now. And so the question now is it going to go back up? Is the US dollar going to rebound, or is it going to drop off? Okay, the 4-hour chart we see the same thing, right? And the daily kind of also. So we know we're at a pretty strong level of support, and this should be going back up. US dollar should be making a rebound, okay? But we don't know for certain. The weekly shows, has a red arrow here, shows it wants to go into a downtrend, right? So does the monthly. So it's been showing this for quite a while already, that it wants to go into a downtrend. And it's more or less has been slowly creeping its way down, at the same time fighting back. So like I've said in previous videos, the US dollar is the strongest currency in the world, and it is not going to go down without a fight. So looking at the daily and the 4-hour chart, we see that yes, it is wanting to go up into an uptrend. Okay, now is it going to continue to range in a flat range of market like this? I cannot say for certain, but what I would do is, if you go here on the hourly chart, you see your resistance here, right? So if I come in here and draw a flat horizontal line, I would put a buy stop pending order about 100 points or so above this and wait for that to trip. Okay, if it breaks by about 100 points, it should continue to go up. Okay, that is my guess on this. And according to the daily, if you look here at that level of resistance, you know, it looks like yes, once that breaks, it's definitely going to be going uptrend for long term. We could buy and just hold all week and wait for it to go up. My guess is you're going to see a flat range of market like this probably for majority of the week. Wednesday going to Thursday, probably around Thursday or so, we should see this break out. Okay, that's what I'm guessing. But again, this week is non-farm payroll, where the US dollar and the Canadian dollar both are affected, and depending on that, we will see some sparks fly. Okay, the market has been slow the last couple of weeks because of the Christmas and holiday season with the New Year's, but now we're going to start seeing things really kick off. So I have a strong feeling inside of me that says yes, this is going to break out, and we will see the US dollar shoot up. Okay, but that probably won't happen until around this coming Friday when the non-farm payroll is released. Okay, so in the beginning of the week, I would probably stick to like a 15-minute chart and look for buy and sell opportunities. Okay, right now it's starting to drop, right? But you know, probably Monday going to Tuesday, you'll rebound and come back up, right? So kind of look, just focus on the range of market right now. Okay, focus on small pips, small gains, and if we have a breakout, like I said, Friday going into next week, definitely next week, I would look to buy long term. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So in the beginning of this week, maybe even the majority of the week, for the US dollar, Canadian dollar, we can look to just buy and sell both in a flat range of market, and then going into next week, we would look for buy opportunities only. But then again, that's all dependent on the non-farm payroll, NFP. So keep an eye out for the non-farm payroll. Mark it on your calendar this coming Friday so you can avoid trading during that time. But wait until after the NFP has been released to see what the market is doing, okay, and see where we're going to go long term. All right. So I hope this has helped you a little bit, give you some kind of insight on what the market is going to do this coming week. Like I said, everything's having to readjust because of the slow holiday season, and we're going to see a lot more activity. So please look at all time frames, no matter what currency pair you're doing, and then try to do your best. Follow my rules of entry using my Excalibur Trend indicator, and you'll be just fine. Okay. But if you have any questions at all about this analysis or any of my other analysis, feel free to contact me on Facebook. If you want another currency pair analyzed that I did not go over here, just message me on Facebook and we can work on that. Okay, I'll give you my analysis, you give me your analysis, and we'll compare notes and then see, maybe you can teach me something, maybe I can teach you something, and we can all bounce ideas off of each other. Okay, so with that said, let me know if you have any questions. I'll be more than happy to help you. Thank you and have a wonderful week.